I gotta claim my personality.
Do it. Oh yeah, I saw that. You're famous now, so you gotta
I gotta
you need
claim
you
it
to
now because now that I'm online, I have to like claim that it's me, and I gotta
yeah,
prove that it's me.
right. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Happy Wednesday. And we're gonna go live and we're gonna be talking about financial freedom. What does it mean? Why is everybody so obsessed with it? How to achieve it, right? That's the main thing with financial freedom. And I was talking. I literally had a sales call right before this one where I was talking with this guy, and I was teaching him, how to buy houses with credit, or at least, from what I know. And essentially, he was like, I don't need to buy tons and tons of properties. I just want one Airbnb on the beach in Myrtle Beach, and then I need one cabin in the mountains, right? And then I want those both like rented out and making me a profit. And he's like, that's what I really want. I want to have a house on the ocean, a house in the mountains, and then make it and pay all my bills and live that life. So that's his financial freedom. I think everybody has their own definition of financial freedom. I guess what do you think of when you think of financial freedom, Gino?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, that's just a dream come true. Just having your assets pay you back. For just living essentially for free, right? You have money coming in every month. That's for me. It's like passive income. It's financial freedom, right? So
Yeah.
for me, it's true financial freedom is passive income. Even us doing this podcast or talking or doing credit leverage, that's still active income. So now
Mhm.
passive income is you don't do anything for the money. You just
Yeah.
you put you it's like a nest egg. You put the nest egg in there and it grows and it just keeps compounds and just grows and pays you out every month or every quarter or whatever however you have it set up for. That's something that for me is like financial freedom, being able to do whatever you want when you want without having to depend on anyone else but yourself to live your life that you really want to live.
Yeah, or being able to do whatever you want and not worry about what the bill is going to be. Right? That's kind of what financial freedom is. It's
Yeah,
like you can go wherever the fuck you want, do whatever you want, don't care about how much it costs because you've got that money coming in
just
and you're
write the
good to
check.
go. Yeah, just
Write the
write the
check.
check. Swipe the black card or whatever it is. Like that's pretty much
and
financial
and,
freedom.
and I think that we have proven that this is possible, right? This is
Yeah.
possible. This is something that's I've proven it. I know you've proven it for yourself, and then there's ways where you can create passive income, and you don't have to worry about how much money you make. There's a
Yeah.
lot of strategies and tactics that I can display and disclose within Credit Leverage X that will monumentally change a person's life just by taking those actions. And they're very sequential actions. Step one, step two, step three, step four. You follow these steps, and then next thing you know, you have a passive income opportunity, or you invested in something that that's going to create generational wealth, and also being able to leverage. So there's a lot of things that people are. I don't think that everybody is aware of.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know, financial freedom. I think it all starts like the problem with saying, oh, financial freedom, it's like there's the human condition, right? Where no matter what we get, we're still gonna want more. Or like, if you're healthy, really, like you see there's like this ceiling, and then you're like, oh, if I could just get through that ceiling, and then you get through that ceiling and you're like, oh wait, there's another ceiling up there. I want to get through that one now. The grass is always greener or whatever it is. But that's the human condition. But I think I think the real conversation with financial freedom is like that guy. He's like, I just want to have an Airbnb on the beach, an Airbnb cabin, right? That's cool, but I think everyone has their own definition of what financial freedom is, and they need to like take time to really get crystal clear on what that would look like for themselves. How much do you have to make a month to first pay all your bills, right? Oh fuck, did I cut out?
No, you're good.
Maybe not. But first you got to pay all your bills, right? So you write down what's like the base. What is the base that you just have to have? And I call that the financial foundation, right? How much is it they have to pay per month just to pay everything, right? For most Americans, I think it's going up. I saw that in Colorado just in this last year, like groceries, gas, and food has gone up like $900, right? In one or 2 years, or maybe it was from the pandemic, but still, nothing is getting cheaper. But you should know exactly how much it costs to pay all of your bills, right? So let's just say on average, I would say in America, it's probably, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe $5,000, maybe a lot more than that, just to pay it, just like to eat, pay your bills, maybe not even eat, maybe just pay all your bills. And then anything past that, though, that is financial freedom, right? That's profit. That's what the money you can use for entertainment. I think life really happens once you hit about 20,000 a month, right? If you can get to 20K a month, you don't really have to worry about it. You're living better than almost most Americans out there, or most people in the freaking world, not just Americans. But
Yeah.
so I think that should be your goal, is like hit 20K a month in passive income. That way it pays all your bills. You don't have to worry about any checks. You can literally probably go just about anywhere. At least that's what I think. But figure out what your number is. Like, what do you need to make passively, or what do you need to make actively? Or like, you can also have financial freedom like by being an artist, right? Or like just doing something that you absolutely love and making a ton of money from it. That can also be freedom. There's a lot of different things. Yeah, I think it starts with make a plan and write out exactly what your financial freedom is. Write out what your goal is to be financially free, so you like don't have to worry about money. I mean, money is important. It's right up there with oxygen for most things. You know what I'm saying? But it's not everything in life, right? So how can you be free of your financial restraints? How can you like stop worrying? I mean, I talk to people all over the country that are only making $20,000 a year. And I'm like, how are you alive? Like, how does this work mathematically? Like, I don't understand. So to really get ahead in life, though, I think you need to have a plan. I think it's Zig Ziglar. He's like, you're never going to hit a target that you can't see. Right. So you got to set a goal, and you got to set a plan to hit that goal. And like I did in one of my my little videos, it was like how to make $100,000. It's like, okay, to make $100,000 in a year, you need to make $8,333 a month. That has to be true. That's the number you have to hit to get 100,000. In order for you to hit 830,000 or whatever a month, you may have to make 200 and something a day, and then you have to basically plan it out. So like plan it down, break it down, figure out your goal, and then break it down into bite-sized chunks so that you know where you're going, so that you can project, so you can figure it out. But yeah, what else do you think of when it comes to financial freedom, Gino?
Yeah, financial freedom, man. We just want to be able to live our life and do what we want without worrying about money, right? Just money is
Yeah.
just constant problem everybody is having. It's just like it's that thing that you have to either work for it or you got to find a way to get it.
Yeah.
So the best way is like you're working for it. We already discussed it. It takes years to work for something and then be able to put that money to work for you afterward. Right? You have to, or you just work for the rest of your life. Like literally, like if you don't make your money work for you, you will work for the rest of your life. Essentially, right? Unless you have like some pension, you're working for the county or something, and you're getting some kind of return on your 401k, and your 401k isn't growing as it used to. Obviously things are not doing well in the marketplace, as many know. There's only a few, people that are actually making money that are day traders, for example. But I essentially passive income, being able to do what you love, like you said, like whether that's going to be your job or your whatever you do when you're not working, you're doing something you love, but you're also making money out of it. That could be a one way to kind of make money without really working, right? But at the same time, you do want that passive income, which you're not even doing anything for it, and it's just coming in every month because you're invested. You're already like you already done the work, or you've invested the money to do it, to make it work for you. And I think for me, passive income is like write a check and not have to worry about what that check is for. Be able to have knowing that my bills are paid for, not having buying things that I don't really maybe I don't even need, but I want. It's like instead of going from a need state, like when you're needing things, like, oh, I need to eat, I need a place to live, I need to have this and that, need.
To being able to buy things that you want.
Going to the want state, which if you're on the need state, you're on the need side of things, and you're definitely not in the financial freedom side. So you got to be in the want side, where you get to your needs are covered, right? But then you're now on the want side. You're like, you want this, you want that, and you can have it because you can afford it.
Yeah. Sorry, I was chuckling because I think Gino, you've probably tried so many programs where you've written the check to someone who's like, I'm gonna fucking make you passive income, and it's always bullshit. Or something along those lines. You're an expert at that experience, until now, right? Now we have a real thing that's really working for people, but it's just very interesting. But yeah, what I wanted to add is my new obsession, thanks to you, is $6,000 pays for $1 million mortgage, right? So my new definition of financial freedom is figuring out how to get $6,000 passively every single month to pay for $1 million mortgage. I'm gonna make a whole YouTube video on that for sure, man. I'm gonna break it down, bro. I'm gonna get in there because I think that is a good goal. It's realistic. I think it's really powerful. And then, yeah, I'm excited
very
about that.
Very realistic, very possible, very doable. And using other people's money to do it is even more doable because, you know, with our program, you get to access the money and you don't have to actually go work for it. You know,
Yeah.
and you know, you do. There's certain things that we want. We want people to actually, do it. Like just because you want financial freedom doesn't mean you shouldn't work. Okay.
Right.
Like it doesn't mean you shouldn't have an income, right? You have to, you have to, if you're in seeking or looking to become financially free, it's a step process. Like you cannot just be like, oh, I'm done, I'm not going to work anymore, I'm going to be financially free because I'm doing this and that, or I'm investing my money here. Unless you're sitting on a good chunk of money, you can't just quit your job, right? You have to like stay employed until you can transition out of that position. And that means your active income is going to surpass your passive income for some time. Like this is a process, right? You cannot you cannot become passive income right away. So and to get passive income, to be honest, it's a lot harder to create passive income than to just go get a job, right? Getting a job and doing work is very easy. Anybody can do it. That's why a lot of people just work. They just be honest. There's a reason why people are working and not doing passive income, because not everybody can do this. This is not easy to do. So passive income, to build that up little by little to surpass your active income, that's a process. And that means you have to be willing to sacrifice your time. You have to be sleepless nights. You have to be willing to put the work in. You have to be willing to invest your money and take a risk in certain things and certain positions. You have to be risky a little bit. You have to be, but you have to have the right people. So it's like if you're just doing it on your own, it is a risk because you've never done it before and you may fail. It's possible. But if you never take that chance, you may never know what happens. So you have to take that risk, but do it with the right people, have the right guidance and the right mentors there for you. So that way you're not in a position where like, oh, what happens if I get stuck here? Or like this doesn't work out. What's my next game plan? You have to be the one to do that. If you haven't had that experience, you haven't walked the path. Let's say if you want to do real estate, like that gentleman that wants to buy real estate, has he bought a house ever in his life? Has he ever owned any property? Does he know the process of buying a property? Does he know how to find deals? Does he know where to get the properties at? Does he even know where he wants to go? He might want to go to this specific area, but has he ever done a market analysis and determined how much money it's going to cost to buy a house like that, or even how much it's going to cost monthly? Just like you said, you need $6,000 to make $1 million, or I have $1 million of assets, right? Well, now because of the information that's been exposed to you in the area this area that we're at, in LA. Arizona, like this areas in the West Coast area. If you want to own a piece of property that much, you got to spend about $6,000. So how are you going to make that money? You got to figure it out. That's the process of figuring out where am I going to invest my money into or my time in order to generate this income to create that $6,000 income and own a $1 million property.
Yeah. I mean, from just what you're saying, bro, it's like I realized like just going and getting a job, it's actually fucking lazy.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it's not, it's like, oh, everybody's all like, oh, being an entrepreneur, it's a bad idea. No, bro, you're just lazy. You're literally, you just like show up at a place and they tell you what to do all fucking day. So you don't have to think. So you don't have to worry about it. If you really want to be successful, you got to not be lazy. You can't just do what people tell you to do. You got to think for yourself. That's the hardest thing. It's like they don't want to fucking think for themselves, bro. It's like I just want to go and do what someone else tells me to do and then eat ramen.
What to me personally, I agree with you 100%. So this is how I looked at it. And whenever I had a job that I was working at, I went to work and I was doing a specific task, right? That task, that job, I'm there to do the job. Like the person, like, well, you need to figure it out. I was like, no, actually, you need to tell me what I need to do because you're paying me to do it. Like, I'm not gonna figure this out. Like, I'm not. It's not my job to figure out this shit. Like, this is your job. You're the manager. You're the owner, or whatever. You need to tell me what I need to do. Otherwise, I'm not doing this because I'm not getting paid enough to figure it out. Okay.
Yeah.
If I need to figure this out, I'm gonna move on and I'm gonna do my own shit. Because if I need to figure it out, I might as well figure it out for myself instead of figuring it out for you. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like that's the brain fart. I call it the brain fart of humans, which is like, why do you do work for other people when they don't even they're not paying? They're not only are they paying you, you know, for your time, but they're not paying you for your time. They're expecting you to do extra. Then not only just show up, like showing up and doing a specific task, that's different than having to come to work and actually put effort in and create and build a business for them, help them get to the next level. You are the reason why that company is still alive, for example, right? You are the reason, because you're putting in, you're not only showing up, you're not just following 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a robot. No, you're showing up. You're having to maybe sell. You're having to maybe, work extra hours. You're having to do
solve
extra,
put out fires.
Like you're having to do so much extra work, and you're not getting paid for it. All you're getting paid for is to show up, and they give you money based on your time, not your effort. Now there is a whole performance-based percent increases, and they try to incentivize you based on performance. Well, guess what? That's a bunch of baloney. That's bullshit. Okay.
Yeah.
They're just telling you that so that way you can work your ass off until the day you die. Okay. And essentially you're just going to be the guy that's going to be working your ass off for another company, making them rich and not yourself. So whenever you have to do extra work, think about it. Is this worth your time? Do you really want to put extra work into something that you're not getting paid to do? Because they're only giving you time for money, right? Per hour. You're getting paid per hour, right? Hourly rate, time. There's no like commission. If there's commission, maybe, okay, if I work harder, there's a value. Otherwise, there's no value. The hourly rate is a complete scam. Okay, it's a scam to screw the American people out of their efforts and hard work that they do every single day. They don't get paid to go in the mud and fix a freaking drain that's clogging up the freeway, for example. Right? Yeah, that kind of stuff that I saw that on Instagram recently. I was like, well, this guy fucking sacrificed his life just to fix this thing, and he's getting paid what, an hourly rate? Like it's insane. Right. So it comes down to the point where, like, at what point are you going to say enough is enough? It's time to move on and put the effort into the area of your area. Create your own
your freeway. Dream, man. Your dream.
Create your own freeway. Create your own pathway. Start digging that pathway. Pave out the road for yourself. Stop paving it out for someone else, because you're just you're just a tool. Just like money, you're a tool, and that's all you are.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my 2 cents about that. So that's why I realized that, and I walked out of corporate world. I was like, I'm not gonna extra work for no pay. Like, you're not gonna make me work harder for not paying me. Give me some commission. Give me a percentage of the business. I'm down. Otherwise, I'm not gonna do work.
Yeah, I know. It's wild.
So it's mind-boggling that every single day, every human in America, every United States American, citizen is working probably 10 times as hard than what they're actually supposed to be working, based on the income that they're getting for the time that they're actually working there. They're spending 8 hours a day, getting paid 8 hours, 20, 30, whatever they're getting paid per hour, hourly rate, but they're probably working a lot harder and they're not getting paid for those extra efforts,
Yeah, at all. Plus, it's like a chunk of your life, your existence, your time, your precious fucking moments on this stupid little world. It's crazy.
You absolutely said that we've created a society of lazy people. And
it's not even like, it's not just physically lazy though. It's they don't want to think. Like, it's like thinking is like, I mean, I know I blame my dog. My dog, if he has to make a tough decision, bro, like he's just like pissed off about it, right? And I assume most human beings, like, he doesn't want to make a decision. He wants me to tell him what to do. But I feel like if you want to be successful, if you want to be free, you have to think for yourself, and it takes hard work of actually putting a plan and then taking action on top of that. You know what I mean?
I don't want to offend anybody, but really, I don't care, honestly. Like, if you get offended by me telling you that your job is just using you, then guess what? You are just like anybody else. Continue working and move on. Don't waste your time here. But if you have a glimpse of brains in you that realize that your work is not equal what you're actually getting paid to do, then for a fact you had a problem. And how hard is it really going to be for you to go to your boss and say, hey, you know what? Can I get a raise this year? Or how much am I going to get? Like, what is it? Like, is that kindergarten? Like, like you got to ask for some money. I mean, this is ridiculous. At this point, it's like, well, my efforts should equal what I should get paid. Like if my effort, if I'm here every day working my ass off, and the result of that doesn't reflect on me, then and it reflects on the company and they get paid, then there's a disconnect, right? So then there has to be a common ground, a fairness, right? A fairness, which now is the reason they created the system for people is that they are not able to support themselves. People, the Americans, unfortunately, that have come into this country, that are born here, specifically, I'll say that very well, specifically that are born, the opportunities that are given to them, they choose not to take them. Individuals that are coming out of other countries that are migrating here are seeing the opportunities, are grasping it, are working their ass off, and creating their own passive income, their own opportunities, creating businesses to keep America afloat. If it wasn't for the immigrants, this country would be dead. I'm telling you right now. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's the fact is that most people that are working now, they're lazy. They don't want to think for themselves. They don't want to do make a difference in their own lives. And then they just want to show up, get paid, and go home and go eat. And that's all they do. So that's the sad part about it. But you know what? It's time to wake up, America. It's time to wake up, because the ship of getting paid and being lazy is no longer going to cut it. The wave is coming, dude. It's coming. It's going to be heavy. It's going to be so big, you can't even freaking breathe. And you're going to be drowning in your own debt. You're going to be homeless before you know it. I see it every day. I got tenants that are behind on rent. They're lucky I haven't evicted them. I will eventually if I really get annoyed. At the end of the day, like, it's just I'm helping people, but at the end of the day, I can only help people so much. You have to help yourself. You have to. It's the level of effort. If you don't put the level of effort in, you don't put the work in, you don't actually think for yourself, or at least have someone there to help you think for yourself, then you are no longer. You might as well just put yourself down, go and get a 6-foot grave, put you in the grave, and call it a day. Like literally at that point, like what's your purpose of life? Just to work with someone else.
I mean, people will give you every excuse in the book, but all you have to do is just get fucking started. Just start building a side hustle. Start learning how to fucking sell stuff. Start doing something other than just what the world has told you to do. Like, you have to peek outside the box and then actually, as soon as you get that first little dollar, that first little fucking entrepreneurial vibe, like, just fucking run in that direction. Yeah. If anything, you'll learn more than you'll ever fucking need to on inside of the regular world of because like this whole talk is about financial freedom, and the reason we're so hyped up is because you're never going to get financial freedom at a job. That's the bottom line. That's the summary of this. If you want to get financial freedom, you have to get the fuck out of that job, and you have to start thinking for yourself. And you don't have to do it right away, but you need to be putting yourself in that fucking direction in order to truly get freedom. And at least listen, like, if you fucking end up starving and homeless, but all you did was you fucking followed your dreams and your passions, you're going to be way fucking happier than the other person who fucking never did that shit and died and didn't do anything with their lives. You know what I mean?
Regrets, nothing but regrets. At the end of their life, 95% of Americans die with regrets. I can say that right now. I mean, that's probably, that number could be plus or minus 10%, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, most people are dying with regrets. They're dying with not enough money to leave for their families. They're depending on life insurance to pay them out. At the end of the day, life insurance, it's all for profit. And you go file a claim, the life insurance is not going to give you jack shit unless you died, literally. Like, you died. How did you die? Did you die by accident? Did you die by how did he die? Right now, can you imagine, like, the life insurance asking you, how did you die? Did you actually die because did you commit suicide? That doesn't count for for a death payout. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you died.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I've heard cases like this, like, where people got into accidents and they got in a car crash and they tried to prove that he killed himself, even though he got into a car accident. Like, it's insanity. But this is America. This is called for-profit capitalism. For sure, life insurances are for profit. They're not non-profit. Okay, and they're not going to give out money just because they said they would. That's it. Just because they said that they're going to give you money at the end of death, don't think your family is going to get that money just because you died. And if you won't know how you died. Let's put it that way.
It's over.
It's over, and then your family has to go fight the life insurance to get the money. Hopefully they can get it, but is that really what you want your family to depend on? Life insurance? Like, this is insanity, right? It's like, well, why don't you create something while you're alive? Don't wait till you
Right.
die to help your family. Create something while you're alive. Create something that your kids and your future, generations can take and and keep working on. This might not be a one-time generational thing. It could take generations to create that financial freedom. But you got to start, and you got to start moving in that direction. And if you don't, then your entire life, your family, everybody around you, they're gonna continue to do everything the same, and America is never gonna change. If people just choose to, if they get handed out money, if they're handed out, handouts, like they're handed out now, they're giving people phones, they're giving people, like, here in California, I mean, you basically, don't work, you get paid, right? It's like the best thing that can happen. Any state that pays you to stay home, run away.
Yeah.
And that's
I mean,
really
California's falling apart, man, from
it's
being
like, oh
a
man,
little snowflake fucking
this
state.
is the beacon of destruction. And next to New York, at the end of the day, it's like where does the hard work get paid off, right? You got to put the hard work in. If you really put the work in, if you care about yourself, or not even yourself, others in your, like, other people in your life, family, mother, father, sister, you name whoever it is, start taking action and stop wasting your life at a job, because the job is only going to take your time and put you in a grave and not leave your family any more or less. This is exactly what they want. They want you to stay where you are, keep your passions, within bounds, but you have to be able to make those little progressions and move forward. Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to be, your next generation is not going to be better off than you. Just whatever you didn't do anything for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Talk about generational. I don't know. The kids are screwed, man. Unless you do something now, unless you take care of them, unless you truly put in the effort, and set the root, like, it's not going to get easier. You know what I mean? We're like, our parents had the golden age, right? And then now we're probably in the golden age, and we have to take advantage of it. It's like, I wish I was buying houses when I was like 6, but
this is the gold mine. The gold mine, before it was a golden age, like, things were about, like, the problem is, like, we have to be ready, right? The market is about to crash, right? It's going to crash in a very monumental way. Prices are going to drop. It's not going to go away. It's just things are going to drop, but you have to be in a well positioned where you can survive it. Number two, you should be able to thrive in it, and become financially free because of it. So it's a great opportunity for a lot of people, and it's a really, really bad time for more people.
Right.
So there's a lot of people that will take advantage of this, but there's a lot more people that are going to be drowning at the end of this tornado.
Yeah, that's why you want to get access to capital and figure out where all the good auctions are going to be.
Yeah. and where we're and finding deals, finding good deals, and doing what it needs, what's necessary. That takes work. Like, we're not sitting around thinking about, oh, I wish I found a house today. No, I'm out there every day looking for property. I'm on the phone. I'm looking at stuff. Like, we're constantly helping people. People are changing their life every single day within our program because they're taking action by joining our program, and then taking action by taking the right steps towards their financial freedom by putting the work into it that they want to do, and investing their time into something else other than work, and spending their time, their money, and investing in passive income opportunities, which is what this is all about. Financial freedom is all about passive income opportunities, creating generational wealth for yourself and your family, and not being dependent on anyone else but yourselves and what you're invested in, like your assets, right? And make sure you have ownership of that, right? Ownership is really where it's at. You have to own it. Otherwise, you don't own anything.
That's
otherwise you have no value. If you're not an owner, you might as well just just a rent nation, bro. It's going to be rent nation. Like I said, it's going to be rent for everybody. Ownership is going to be very limited. I'm sure that ownership, and they're going to start limiting what we can own. Apparently we don't own land anymore, so all we do is own a house in California. So I'm surprised they let me put my house there. You got to pay your taxes, as long as you pay your taxes. So they're going to raise taxes, I hear, to the point where people can't afford to keep their houses. This is something that I'm hearing coming out. So financial freedom is going to be even more important. Even if you own property, You better have financial opportunities, other opportunities, multiple streams of income other than real estate. So don't make real estate like end all be all. Real estate is just one form of income. Honestly,
Yeah.
It's a good place to park your money, and it's a long-term investment. But you got to create those passive incomes or multiple stream opportunities within yourself. If you don't know what you're doing, you need to find someone that does, or at least invest into a program that's going to teach you and help you. Right?
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's today's call.
Anyways.
I think it was very, very powerful. We're trying to do this every week. If you want to get true financial freedom, get put in the right direction and be on track, you got to join Credit Leverage X. Check out our free course. You go to creditleveragex.com and you can check that out, as well as learning how to get funding so you can join our program and come work with us as we are on the path and blazing the trail so everybody else can get financial freedom as well. All right. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.
Fire.